Everybody's been talking about this video that's going viral. Several videos have been made, and mostly from the reaction that I've seen from men and women, we're all on the same page about this delusional, self-entitled woman who basically showed her date no type of respect whatsoever and felt entitled, and as she was too good to go to a restaurant, a chain restaurant. Um, at the end of the day, the funny thing was she kept saying, "You don't take a woman that looks like me to a chain restaurant. Why not?" But I'm gonna educate her on the whole chain restaurant thing. I'm about to hit her with some truth and further make a fool out of her. Now I'm trying to watch the words that I use because I really want to go all out on her. But because of this platform, you can't really go in like you want to. But I am going to say this much. I wanted you to see this right here. She says a woman that looks like me. So basically, she was trying to imply that she was a perfect 10 or she was a dime or something. So as you can see, I have two nickels. Well, five plus five equals 10. And based off her skank attitude, her mentality, her disrespect, well, I'm going to remove one of these nickels. And since she thought she was a 10, actually, she was more of a five based off her attitude and how she was disrespectful. First of all, she's complaining about going to the Cheesecake Factory, which nothing's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory because it's like you're comparing the Cheesecake Factory to Denny's or something. At the end of the day, he's spending the money. And then come to find out, he came to pick her up and it took her an hour to come outside. Basically, he told her what time he was going to be there. She didn't even have enough respect to be ready on time. I understand being like 5 minutes, maybe in 10 at best, but an hour after 20 minutes, I would have dipped and I would have blocked her number because she already coming out the gate not showing this man no respect whatsoever. You know, it's the same thing. And in particularly, I have to say this, and some people gonna be mad, and some people gonna be triggered by this, but actually, do I care? This is why black women, to a certain degree, some are falling by the waistline. And people are starting to see a lot of times that they're the problem. While they're always playing victim, claiming that, they can't find a good man and all this kind of stuff. And, is the dating scene is difficult for them, where they're making the dating scene difficult because a lot of times for what you're seeing, they're the problem and they don't want to be held accountable. So, like I said before, this man was nice enough to wait an hour. Brothers like me, after 20 minutes, I would have dipped. I would have dipped. I would have said, you know what? Screw her. I ain't even. I'm dipping. I'm blocking her number, and that's just the bottom line. And then I give dude credit. He defended himself, and he basically said, "I'm taking you back home." And I could tell you what she was trying to do. Probably what happened was, dude, let's just keep it a buck. Dude don't look intimidating. I don't know what nationality he was. He might have been Hispanic, or he might have been Indian or something. But I could tell probably what happened with her. She probably tried this with a couple of brothers and she probably got checked or they cussed her out. So she felt that, based off the fact that dude didn't look intimidating, she thought she could like try to bully dude and try to walk all over him. Cause she probably tried this with brothers and she got checked. And I can look at this woman and tell she's between the age of maybe 37 and 47 because, a lot of times in our case, we don't age badly. So she could be she's in between that age range. And he basically said, okay, she's sitting in the car talking about a man's supposed to do this, a man's supposed to do that. She has these type of expectations. It's funny. A lot of times women love to holler about what expectations they have for men, and particularly women in our community. But whenever us brothers talk about our expectations, what we expect, all of a sudden they get deaf toned. All of a sudden they can't hear that good because it's always about them. And I give him credit. He said, all right, you know what? I'm going to take you home. And I bet you she didn't even come. I bet you when she got into the car, I guarantee you she didn't even apologize for saying sorry that I was late. I bet you money. I bet you money she didn't even come outside and say, hey, sorry, I'm late. But like I said, I would have dipped. I would have dipped. And for those who don't know, the Cheesecake Factory ain't cheap. And then you got to think with, inflation and then, other stuff probably costs even more. Cheesecake Factory just eating alone, eating a cheapest meal probably gonna run you about $25, $30. So you can imagine paying for two people. Now, when I was in Philly, my girl took me to the Cheesecake Factory before she took me to the airport. And our meal, which, you know what I'm saying, and shout out to her, we went half. Now I offered to pay for everything, but she said she a good lady. She said, nah, I'll go half with you on it. So it came to around $70 plus a $10 tip. So it was about $80. But these women talking about, oh, you have to go all out. No, we don't. We don't have to go all out for you. Says who? At the end of the day, it's just a meal. You eat it, you go to the bathroom, and then you know the rest. It's just food. But let me educate this woman and further make her look like a moron. So you don't so you don't eat at chain restaurants. Well, more than likely, you probably buy your clothes off the rack. You probably shop at whatever, Forever. I don't know. You might shop at Macy's, wherever you get your clothes from. I guarantee you she's not having her clothes and her shoes specially made. If you shop at the mall, we all know the malls have franchise stores. So let me get this straight. You could buy your clothes off the rack from a franchise or a chain, but you don't want to eat at a chain restaurant. That makes absolutely no sense. I bet you her ass shop at Walmart. We all know what Walmart is. Biggest retailer in the world. Now, let me educate you guys on something. Educate you guys on something. Even these independent restaurants. See, I'm finna drop the mic on her. Most people know that I work in the food industry. Okay. Not gonna say who I work for, but most people know I work in the food industry. A lot of my closest affiliates know who I work for. Okay. That so-called independent bistro or restaurant you may go to or want to eat at, that's gonna charge you $100 or $200 a plate. Guess who in all likely is their food supplier? Cisco, US Foods, Buy Right, Costco. We know Costco's is a chain. We know, and some of these restaurants even buy their meat from Walmart. They buy the steak. From Walmart for, maybe they may spend $200 or $300 on the steak, and then they charge you $100 for the steak. So how are you too good to eat at the Cheesecake Factory when most restaurants, and how I know, I used to work for Cisco Foods. Cisco Food supplied a lot of independent mom and pop restaurants, bistros. So that doesn't make any kind of sense. So she just really made a fool of herself. See how easy it is to drop the mic on her and make her look stupid? She sounded ridiculous. So due to the fact of her ignorance, I'm gonna take another, 5 cents away from her, another 5 from her, just make her a complete 0 because that's how she conducted herself. She's a 0 for that. But you see how easy it was to basically just ether her. You don't eat at chain restaurants, but you shop at a chain retailer. I bet you she got that dress from Target, or some people who want to fancy it call it Target, because that dress she had on looked cheap. Looked like it didn't cost no more than $25, but she's sitting up trying to act like she just this high upscale woman. If you don't stop it. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sasser One. Tell her. Tell her. Tell them. That's what these people don't know. Because like I said, I worked for Cisco Foods for a year. And they supplied a lot of the restaurants. And if they ain't getting that, like I said, if these restaurants, doesn't matter whether it's hometown buffet, doesn't matter whether it's whatever, Golden Corral or Sizzler, a lot of them get their food from Cisco or U.S. Food Service. So how in the hell she's sitting up here trying to be choosy? She made a fool of herself. Oh, she was a 3 at best. Nah, she was a 0. But I think what made me even more enraged was the fact that the dude said it took her an hour to come outside. Like I said, no disregard for that dude sitting out there waiting for her. And that used to drive me nuts. Because one thing about me, I'm going to tell you right now, back in the day, in my heyday, if I said I'll be there at 8 o'clock, you had at best, and I would be generous on that day, at best, you had maybe like a 15-minute cushion. After that, I'm out. I'm gone. I ain't even go pick up the phone when you call. This is before, you could block numbers and stuff. I'm from this is the flip phone days. So, this is the flip phone days, before all this, technology, AI and all this stuff. So, couldn't block numbers then, so I was out. I just wouldn't pick up. And if you call from a restricted number, wasn't picking up, because at the same time, I'm taking time out my schedule to try to spend time with you and get to know you. And you don't even have a common courtesy to be ready on time. And I've told you, I gave you a 2-hour window to get ready. And then we made plans probably at least, probably maybe a few days in advance. I'm calling you. If I say I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock, you got till 8:15. If I've called you at 5 o'clock, you have 3 hours to get ready. It shouldn't take you 3 hours. You should already, you know what I'm saying? And if you get off of work at, if it's a Friday or Saturday, if you get off of work, you know what I'm saying, on a Friday and we going out, okay, you get that 1 hour cushion. But if it's Saturday or Sunday, you don't have to go to work. It is no excuse why you should be late. There's no excuse why you shouldn't be ready. I done gave you a 3-hour cushion. You have enough time to shower, have your clothes ready to go, all that kind of stuff. But you don't even have enough common decency to even text me. Now, it was a few that'll say, hey, babe, just give me a few more minutes. This happened, that happened. Okay, cool. But just to come outside, get in the car. Don't even say sorry, I'm late. None of that stuff. That's gonna be the first and last date. I may tell you to get the hell out my car. It's all about respect. And a lot of times these women don't want to show us no kind of respect, but they always want us to respect them. So now, it's kind of funny. Like I said, I believe that she thought she could pull that on a non-black dude. And that's what I think happened. And she was just surprised. She was surprised that dude stood up to her. But as I was saying before, this is for you white boys and you non-blacks. As I said before, y'all know, brothers, we didn't have this conversation before. Now these dudes see what we be going through when they always try to shame us and blame. Shame and blame. That's what they love to do. Shame us and blame us for everything that go wrong in their life, when a lot of times they're the problem. They are the damn problem, but they don't want to accept accountability. So like I said before, for you white boys and you non-blacks that think y'all hurting us when y'all call y'allself dating our women like her, you can have them. You can have that headache. But at the same time, I guarantee you, they not going to let them bring that stuff to their community. When these dudes sit up there and say that we mistreat they women, some of them non-blacks that date black women, they quote unquote worse than we are. Yeah, that's exactly what she did. She made a fool of herself. So like I said before, y'all can have them. We don't want them. In all likelihood, we had them first. And basically what it came down to, a lot of us got wise and started to wake up and stop making it seem like that it was always our fault and that we were the problem. We started to realize a lot of them were the problem. She's the problem. And she's sitting up there saying, oh, men are just throwing themselves at her. Okay, well, why you chose to go on a date with a guy that looked like that? And say men are supposed to do this, they supposed to do that. You supposed to be the provider, the protector. But then how come when we are the provider and the protector and all we ask you to do is be respectful, maintain the home, especially if we put you in a position where you don't have to work and you too good to do that. You too good to iron my clothes. You too good to have my dinner ready. You too good to wash my clothes, but you sitting up living a great lifestyle where you don't have to do nothing except maintain the house. And I put you in that position because of my resources, and you're too good to do that. You can go to hell. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Hamza. They could have her. Please go procreate with them. And then create a you know what I'm saying, a biracial Pookie. And then bring them into y'all communities and let them turn y'all communities inside out because of who they mothers are. There you have it. Ether. This is just too easy. This is just too easy. I was livid seeing that. Especially when the dude said you was an hour. I guarantee you she got her ass in the car and didn't even say, you know, I apologize. Just got in the car like, let's go. Like she don't have to explain herself. I guarantee you. She was shocked when that dude said, well, I'm taking you back home. If it was me, I would have said, you know what? We gonna go to this restaurant. You know what I would have did? I would have took her to the original restaurant. As soon as she got out the car, I would have dipped. I would have left her there by herself. Or I would have told her, well, you get out my car. You go to the restaurant by yourself. It's all good. So, you know, I had to say this because like I said before, a lot of people just starting to see the truth who were sitting up here constantly ragging on black men saying, oh, you guys treat y'all women like this. Y'all, you treat them like that. You need to do this. First of all, to those dudes that were saying that, fuck you. Don't speak on the brothers when you You know what I'm saying? When you the other, you don't know what we go through. So stay out of our mix. Don't speak on us, especially when you don't know us. You don't know us. Just because you follow DJ Blad and Adam 22, those two culture vultures, they ain't in touch with the black community. They just exploit the black community. And that's real talk. You don't know us. You don't have the right to speak on us. I got to say this, Flint Town boy, I'm really worried about where we're headed. And I'm really worried about the direction that black women are going. At the end of the day, they may need a harsh reality check. Because I could tell you right now, if in fact that's how she really is, and now everybody know what she look like, ain't nobody gonna approach her. Now, except for a simp, somebody that's desperate. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Simps to a certain degree, they keep women like that in business somewhat. But to a certain degree, some of these simps are starting to wake up. Listen, if you don't have respect for yourself, if you don't value yourself, you're gonna be lost anyway. And we start to see this in Will Smith, because at the end of the day, Will Smith is making it impossible for people to keep defending him, because at the end of the day, it appears that he likes the mental abuse that Jada pushes on him and puts on him. So at the end of the day, wouldn't we got to say, you know what, Will, we tried, we've been trying to warn you, you won't listen. So at the end of the day, you want to take this kind of physical, excuse me, mental abuse. Who knows? She may have tried to put her hands on him. I don't know. I'll say allegedly. Don't know for sure. But if Will wants to put up with that kind of abuse, that mental abuse, then at the end of the day, we got to just pray for him and then just wipe our hands at him. It's an old saying. You can't save nobody that don't want to be saved. Will don't want to be saved. And the same thing with women. You can't keep telling a woman if she with a dude that's not good for her, with a toxic dude, you can't keep sitting up there telling her she need to do this and do that, especially if she with a dude that's just randomly going upside her head just for the hell of it. And then you sit up there and put your neck, your freedom on the line, and then she go back to this dude. At the end of the day, if she keep doing this thing, if she keeps repeating the cycle, that means she likes it to a certain degree. So that's just real talk. Nobody don't want to hear the truth these days. I can. Like I said before, if you a dude that allow a woman to walk all over you, and if you a woman that allow a dude to walk all over you and you know they're toxic, you deserve it. At the end of the day, you can't keep trying to save people who don't want to be saved. Like I said before, if you a woman that got 5 kids by 5 different men, you like those type of men. That's just real talk. If you like a woman that walk all over you, have you spending money on her and her children, and then you barely get a whiff of the you know what, but she sit around there and have other dudes around you in your face and take your money and give it to the next dude, and you don't put your foot down or defend yourself, then that's on you. That's real talk. But anyway, you guys, appreciate you guys being here. So I just wanted to do a quick video on that. I'll be back with more. Just taking a breather. Appreciate you guys.